Hello, it's the end of the O, another freestyle, like a child, with a very big smile, and a whole lot of gal, stacking up the rhymes like a dog pile, or a stockpile of ammunition, or munitions. Time to transition. What is the point of this? Without dissing, probably for the information. 0.72 light years per year as the universal growth. My knowledge is kind of gross. That means very much in French, en français. I keep it hip-hop like frog legs. I'm at the top of the stack every day, on a day-to-day basis. DJ Premier, why would you waste this beat? Why not talk about 10 to the negative 23 meters cubed as the energy that we consume, each L particle? Not a quintillion fits in the cubic meter, 10 to the 54. The freestyle number 10 I ignored. The fact that you gotta calculate for volume jacks. I'm the greatest, not the latest. That's 10 to the 54 particles inside of our soul. Looks like I mathematically made it. No debating, no changing. Information rearranged it. My mental cage is open. I'm scoping, I'm always keeping my fingers crossed and hoping for some luck that's always good. I put my best foot forward toward a new beginning. Without sinning and still living, still grinning, still winning. Still making only a little bit of dividends. What's the difference? I've got many degrees and the severity of my life is still alright. I still have mental clarity. I still have hype. I'm still married to the beat. We are one and alike. I'm kindred. On fire like kindling. Stepping around all of these simpletons. Keeping it efficient with this flow in real time. The flow is still mine. Blowing up like a landmine. Keep it moving, Nas style halftime. Except there's many minutes to go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I smell the blood of an Englishman with English vocality. That's a mental fatality. Divine, the fact that there are many different Christs, in fact. One every 2,000 years of different races for diversity. I guess there'll be males and females. 20,000 years to make a set with two. That's 40,000 years. True. So what are really the clues? The matching processes with existence processes. You can catch a sample like a beat. And all for direct camcorder targeting, so we know what we'll have to do together as targets. In 50 billion years, when we've gone the farthest, before we're about to leave this ill body of the PLF, 10 trillion light years, though we only need to go 5 with 6 new pairs of big bangs to really feel alive, and with 23 domain rings, we'll be able able to go for 9.89 billion years in each universe, or each domain, created by a Big Bang, circling around inside of this universe with rings. The Dr. J plan. It takes 9 billion years on domain ring J, which would be the 10th letter. Apparently it's like a certain amount of years. And finally we'll be there. Within a billion years we have to make another Big Bang pair. That way there's enough stuff to go to when we appear. It takes universal growth at 0.72 light years per year, and 9 billion years or 10 billion years, and there will be enough for us to do domain rings without having to stop. It just works out that way a lot. And of course, with light speed technology, we could be going PS1, the speed of light, by blasting photons with re-energized light, 10 to the negative 16 meters cubed, which also means in height as a beam. What do you think that means? We have to keep it the same size and also magnify the light so that it explodes properly with the clogging effect. Oddly. What an oddity in order to do this odyssey. Almost like going across the seas. But it'll be this vacuum of space with signality, with these blue energy bits. Why do you think the ocean's blue, kids? And the sky as well. Why, oh why? I suppose it's all because of intelligent design. But is it so intelligent, or just that way in our minds? Imagine if we had to live life blind. Imagine if you could live life without Ryan. Or if I never decided to try. Would we know how to fly with our spirits in the night sky when we die? Would we know when to sit down instead of always trying to rise? Would life really be left without any new kind of surprise? With tears in the eyes of those who die on a cross because they don't know. And the rest of us feeling life is so cold because we didn't know what happens when we die. That there are low density planets in heaven. And turns out they're actually stealing our internet connection. On IP1, 1 trillion light years from this place, not 93 million miles like the sun. S-U-N, not S-O-N, like blood that you drink from a cup. And we need to know what's up. I guess the planets in heaven with lower density atoms that are actually smaller, 10 to the negative 15 meters cubed, while on Earth they're 10 to the negative 9. So that means if you were to cube that for a cubic meter for the human body, you would get 10 to the negative, or 10 to the 27 atoms on Earth, and 10 to the 45 on IP1 in the lower density environment, the LDL. You add 18 because it's a million times smaller, and you cube that. 10 to the 6 cubed is 10 to the 18. 27 plus 18 is 45. So that's the atoms that we live to exist, that comprise our body. Except there are spaces in the body. So on Earth, there are 10 to the 24 atoms in a cubic meter of our body, while there are 10 to the 42, you flip it around, on the planets in heaven, and you've got the two different amounts of atoms. That's somewhat intelligent design, actually.
Yo, then what, man? What?
And now we have it, all known, delivered to you with my rhythm and tone, my numerality, and you can see it with signality in your televisions. Also the number 26, which is how far the universe is in billions of light years. Like here, and also in heaven, the lower density environment, where there's 13 billion light years in radius, one side and also the other. Which is, if you add or multiply 18 times 0.72, you get around 13. That means 18 billion years at 0.72 light years per year, and you get around 13 billion light years. You do that in both directions and you got 26. And that's what it is, kids. That's on some official business. You can read the QRI textbooks as resources, better than the L resources of this idiot that's been calling itself a god, really a simpleton and a fraud. We should study ourselves in order to add to our mental health. What else is there to say? Certainly not about elves and sleighs and snow and presents and glitter and gold and everything that glows. New Year's is almost here, so what? When's it going to be enough? You know, the next task will probably be in China, then in Spain, and then the Christ after that will be in India, and the Christ after that will be in Iraq, and the Christ after that will be in Mexico, and the Christ after that will be in America as a Native American, and after that it'll be a Native Australian, indigenous, and then it'll be in, I think Hawaii, on the large island. And then it'll repeat. There'll be a female in Israel in 20,000 CE. A mental workout like PE for the body. Every 2,000 years, oddly. And we'll be flying 1,000,000 light years to Eco 1. By the time we do this, there will be like 16 planets that can handle it by building spaceships from IP1 to IP16 to LDL. Well, on Earth, there'll only be one, IP Earth, that'll travel. So it'll be a 16-to-1 ratio, and not really an equal battle, until we can build our own bodies in the higher density environments with machines in 1.6 million years, likely, when the SMCP2 begins. 40 sets of tasks, testing out subjects. Just because there's no other way to test ourselves before flying in our ill bodies to these machines ourselves, rather than being transported like going to heaven. Though some think that we're going to hell. Oh well. Whatever it takes to sell the argument. Whatever it takes to become a part of it. It's a long process. But what else is there really to do? what can we talk about other than how well the Taz do and how it will be when we do it on our own, when we're 50 billion years grown, and all the technology that we have inside of our homes. And people just talk about building human clones because you don't know about the future, so you start guessing and wondering, what is an advancement of thought? How do we really think outside of the box? But now that we know, we can keep it all in control and supervise ourselves rather than pretending that we know everything and outcycling each other on stupid competition. We can use instant conflation using our school system and actually create this better tomorrow with less sorrow. And not have a tragedy like Fargo. And see how far we'll go. Must have been some sort of signality for Big Bang pairs going westward. But they put very little effort. So mostly it's talking about guns and perhaps gun control. But we really need to control that. It was about these big bangs with each gun explosion. What do you think that means? So it's all really tied together like a knot. But when that place was not hot, it was cold in Minnesota. And the atmosphere was icy. And the cost is pricey for these things. For kidnapping. Napping like children. Thinking not of what's really needed in order to make it as people. In order to not become evil and lethal, like injecting needles, like that character from Back to the Future 2 with Michael J. Fox, and that part where they seem to make fun of us not knowing there's the internet connected up in heaven, calling us chickens. Slim pickings down here. We don't even know why the earth turns, and it's weird. But eventually, people will read my books and understand that there is a Dr. J plan and a Route 66, a highway to heaven, or many heavens. We have to create them ourselves, like bread that gets leavened. It takes time to expand. That way we can circle around it in probably counterclockwise rings. And all the older life forms are every 500 years transported along a life path in heaven. So the dinosaurs are 130,000 of these planets away. You'll never see them without light-speed technology anyway. And the earliest cells are probably 6 million inhabited planets, IPs, gone. Yet they used to live on the planets that we'll live on when we die. So for archaeologists, you can dig up dinosaur bones probably on IP1, IP2, IP3, and all the way to IP 130,000. Of course, if it takes us that long and we're still traveling along the life path, that would be kind of odd. Somebody will do it. I know somebody will stay and won't leave and go to Eco 1, 2, 3, and however many there might be. I don't know what the future entirely holds. I guess for archaeologists, they would want to stay and dig up the bones of all the different dinosaurs that died along the way. a singular life path. We all take the same one. One cultivates the land for another. Because as you die in heaven, you still get rebuilt and reborn. Or your body gets rebuilt and you, with your energy of crossing, continue. So, you gotta go somewhere. And so, I suppose, for those who don't know, there's much to learn. You don't need to find all the dinosaur bones on Earth. You can keep looking in heaven, there'll be plenty. And all those civilizations that were there have left their artifacts everywhere. So I guess there's plenty of time and plenty to find. It's just a matter of knowing all there is to know and having proper continuity and mixing up the races so that everybody gets to face it and gets to see what's really going on. As superior beings, as supreme things, seeing all with oversight rather than being under all the time, underprivileged, underrepresented. Under a spell and under the thumb, baking under the sun, like people who keep razors under the tongue. Wondering what's under the earth, rhyming as the underground. Under a curse, place me and my name under the first. I've been this way since my birth. Smart, intelligent, competent, and nothing worse. Solid as the table under your purse. For MCs who want money so much that it hurts. I need none of it. And that's what you learn. NoNeedz. Word.